Hi everybody, today is April 19th, 2020, and I'm going to do a request reading from one of my subscribers for whether or not Trump is a drug addict and if it affects his actions while in office. Now, I think that's something is definitely happening there. He's had a lot of there's a fellow by the name of Noel Casler with Casler. He's on Twitter, and he has made a lot of comments. He worked with apparently Trump on The Apprentice in some capacity. I never watched The Apprentice because I've never ever in my life liked Donald Trump. He's always been known as kind of a con man and a baboon. You know, that's mean to baboons. That really is. He's just, well, awful. So, I am going to look at that. Now, with the cards, I've got a new deck that I really am anxious to use. It's called the Haunted House Tarot. It's for kind of a little bit darker type of subject matter. But first I'm going to start out with my go-to Bianco Nero Tarot. So let's focus on Donald Trump's drug dependency. Let's just ask, is he drug dependent on Adderall? Anything else? And how is it affecting his decisions while he's in the White House? How's that? Okay. Is Donald Trump dependent on drugs? Is he a drug abuser? And is it affecting his decisions that he makes in the White House? How so? Okay. Now, I'm just going to shuffle a bit. If you think I shuffle too much, you can just carry on somewhere else, or you can, frankly, I don't care. I gotta do what I gotta do. I know some people don't understand that readers have to shuffle until we feel something, and I'm trying to make it less lengthy, my shuffle, but I'm going to focus on Donald Trump and his drug use. Rather, abuse. I will ask, drug abuse. Is Donald Trump abusing drugs? And how are they affecting his decision making? May we see that, please? Ancestors, universe, spirit of the tarot, spirit of truth, and wisdom. Trump abusing drugs. If so, how does that affect him with the decisions he makes? May we see that, please? This is not easy to do on bed rest. I don't want to smush my cards. Okay. Wow. Covering him about drug use. Again, pardon my allergies, wound back, old background voice. And what covers him is the Two of Swords. Something is stationary there, and he's also blocking something off with regard to it. But let's carry on, right? Oh, yeah. What crosses him is the Magician. So, all right, Let's just lay them out. Let's just lay them out. Ooh, makes them more combative. I think the answer is definitely a yes. And with the wands, all these wands, okay, boy, am I getting hits now. Oh, I think your answer is yes, for sure. Just now, common sense, I can look at the guy and go, something really wrong with him. But because we're going to suspend our own street smarts and we're just going to depend on the cards to tell us a story about that, the answer is oh yes. Oh yes, he is. And oh yes, it does. If he's even showing up in his own dang reading. Or this could be somebody associated with maybe where he gets it. He fears having poor health. He really fears it. And he really fears being out of the spotlight. Narcissist would. And the final end result card is the World. Sorry, folks. Situating this while trying to... You can't even see that. Doggone it. Okay. Let me just see if I can adjust. And I'm sorry if this makes any noise when I adjust the camera. Okay. Well, let's just deal with this the best we can. So, let's begin. Well, the things that stand out to me right away are, firstly, I think he's in denial about it. Doesn't want, of course, anyone to know about it. This is hush, hush, hush. This is don't go there. This is a secret, in my opinion. It is like he thinks he can keep his secret, but, you know, his behavior is so bizarre. The moon is in his past, so, and the Ten of Wands is what this is based on. He has used something, let's just be generous with him. And I feel like the message I'm getting is stimulants with these wands. He's a stimulant user. There are some people that prefer to use something that relaxes them. Like a lot of people like to have alcohol or whatever. That is more of a relaxing effect. Although alcohol is one of those weird drugs that can also make people absolutely aggressive. However, in this case, we can see that I feel like the cards are saying he's using stimulants to handle what he considers a busy life. But we all know that busy for Donald is going to the golf course and doing some occasional dirty criminal, work. For him, it's hard work. And I believe that he's been using it for some time with this 10 being the basis card. I think it also has affected his neurological system in some way. That's just coming to me, okay? I'm just going to go with it. And it makes him more argumentative. It makes him short-tempered, just combative. All the responses that we see with him, where he's snarky and he's snippy and he's pissy, it contributes. Sorry about the moon back. That's what that is. It contributes to it. It contributes to his need to also constantly pick fights, his bully attitude, mindset. It makes him aggressive, more aggressive, on just about, I think, everything. To the point that I think even he gets tired of himself. But he takes it out on other people. And this is wearing on. Okay, I'm getting, because he has used something excessively for a period of time. My guess is something like Adderall, which is what he's been said to use. And not just use, but abuse. I have members of my family that have ADD, and this personal member of my family doesn't like to use the Adderall they've been prescribed because it makes them feel more anxious. Rather than, so they avoid using it. They don't really like it at the end of the day, even though it's quick in and quick out of their system. My personal family member does not choose to use it. And no, that is no judgment upon anyone else that uses this drug as prescribed for their ADD. Donald, however, doesn't just use it, he abuses it. And it's taking a toll on his system, particularly the neurological system. Okay. Makes him combative, aggressive, and also I think affects his moods. I think he goes into dark, dark places in his mind. And this falling, excuse me, in the recent past makes me feel like a lot of his dark behavior caused by drug abuse is kept silent, is put a lid on it, has been like The Apprentice. I'd love to see those tapes, actually. And like, I don't like to watch anything or hear, frankly, I avoid watching anything with Trump. Except for the occasional of, wow, look how crazy that guy is. Where I have to. But I think that his behavior in the recent past particularly shows a lot of darkness going on because of his drug use and his state of mind, the choices that he makes. This is why I want to move from my neighborhood, folks. It's ridiculous. I don't know if you heard that or not. And I live right near a police station. Anyway, we see there's this, look how this connects. Can you guys, I don't know, if you don't read cards, what I try and do when I do my readings, give my readings through my cards, is to kind of explain a little bit too as we go. So look at the position and the nearness of the cards nearby, always, okay? This is how you also get your story. The tarot really is a story that comes out. And I get hits, so I'm getting, like, he's gotten progressively more dark with the abuse of some kind of stimulant. I think it could be more than one kind of stimulant, potentially. Usually, honestly, when people are addicted, they don't just abuse one thing. They are addictive and in other areas of their life. The sex, like with him. The even though he has to pay through the nose to get it. Anywho, I think a lot of also his moods, I feel like it puts him in a very dark frame. A very dark frame of mind. A strange dark frame. It's really, I do think that it has, and I know some people are going, duh, no kidding, but just stay with me or go to another video if you're like, yeah, I already kind of know it. But this has really affected him collectively over time. And perhaps even with this being the recent past, more recently of late, of just the pressure that he's getting put under because of finally someone trying to hold him accountable for all his criminality. That's coming, and I think that it creates more abuse of drugs or other stimulant and other things that he abuses. I do think, like I said, there's more than one thing. There's just, this man is nothing but destruction. He's destruction to himself and to other people. He doesn't take care of himself. He just lives the way he lives in an oblivious fashion. And it's very destructive. Very, very destructive. There's a whole host of secrets with his drug use too. There's things that have happened in the past, I get, that have been covered up. Certainly his drug use of the past has been covered up for him. And he's very, I think, worried and concerned that any of that come out. And he's fighting to keep it from being revealed. I know he's fought to keep those apprentice tapes silent or out of public hands and view, but I really think they should show them. And not after he's out of office, but who knows, okay? Now, when we look across this bridge, which is bridged by the Magician card, the card that falls in a placement of challenge, it does challenge his thinking. It challenges him to think in an orderly, sensible, focused fashion. How is it that a drug that is used to give you focus now doesn't help you focus anymore because you've abused it so much? So when we look at this Magician bridging the moon to the Ten of Pentacles across this Two of Swords, we see, and this is to do with the earthly realm, of course, it's a 10 as well. He gets a lot of 10s. You notice that as well? The 10 of Wands here in the recent, the basis of the reading. But it's something that's well established. Okay, he has a well established addiction. And I'm going to say addictions because I don't think it's just to one thing. Makes him combative. And I think that it affects his policies. Definitely. His actions in creating policies, his actions in using discernment. If the Magician doesn't have discernment, whatever he seeks to manifest is not going to come out well. There's a problem. You know, it's like when you go to bake a cake, if you don't have all the right and follow all the right instruction and do it in a certain way, the Magician knows these ways. He has all these tools here. And the Magician should know how to put things together. But it's a challenge for him. He can't keep track of the progression and the details. The details he's too impatient with. He cannot focus. So it's so strange that a drug that should give him focus is no longer giving him focus, but just making him more aggressive and combative because he's abused it. It is no longer a therapeutic thing for him. And it affects the populace. It affects society. It affects a greater number of people. Not just his family, not just his business, but now that he's in a position of being in the highest office of the land that he does not deserve and is not capable of serving, well, We get his craziness leaking out and being poured into the public arena and the decisions that he makes for our health, for our health care, for treating this virus. He doesn't know. He doesn't have good sense. He's not able to use various tools of communication and getting things done. He's just not able to put it in sequence of how things logically fit together to manifest something that is productive, helpful. In his placement of where his mind is at on this, he has the Page of Swords. He's still looking at it from a very childish point of view. The universe has kind of a little inside joke with me running that it often won't show me the King of Swords for him always, but it will refer to him as a page or a more youthful, immature court card. So he looks at this from, I think, also a very kind of paranoid point of view about his drug use. He's paranoid that that information get out, and he's trying to keep it quiet, blocked. In his environment is a King of Swords. Now, this could be somebody that is providing him with that medication. I would love to know the source. Now, is that one doctor still working for him? The one that he insulted, that got a little bit upset with that? I would love to know who is providing him this, because I do not believe for 2 seconds that it is, at least I hope not, any White House official doctor. I'm thinking this is coming from a different resource, possibly this King of Swords. I don't think this is Donald, though this is a card that I usually get for him because he is a Gemini. I believe that this is a resource. This could be another doctor, someone else that he goes to for it. It's all very hush-hush. And I feel like there's a lot of money involved here also, which isn't terribly surprising. Like, this is his dealer, okay, lack of a better word. And, excuse me, I hate having this sinus. In his hopes and fears are the Five of Pentacles. He doesn't want to become an outcast. He doesn't want to have this source, I think, also dry up. He doesn't want to be having to not have a source where he can get his drugs. That just came to me with this. He doesn't want to have to go to the street for it. Right, Rubenbeck? Yes. So I think he also fears having poor health. He fears not having this access to this drug. I think he would need medical, frankly, at this point, assistance to wean off of that drug. There's no way that he would be able to do this at his age without, cold turkey. I think his health would really physically be at risk. I also think he feels like this drug makes him more sociable, more somehow part of the gang. I think he just really fears becoming someone who isn't doing well and can't look after themselves. And I think he feels that if he doesn't have this drug or the drugs, whatever it is that he's abusing, should I say, that he would not be able to maintain what he thinks is some degree of functionality. And it's really not functionality, but a hot mess. The world card at the end of the reading, I'll pull some clarifiers, but this makes me feel as though, especially with these two other tens, that we're looking at a end of a cycle for him. And this is not, I just feel like it could come out more complete. Oh my God. Yeah. It will be the end for him. I think it could be one of those details. Let me pull a couple clarifiers on that world card. What do we got? The Page of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. I believe that it will be exposed and come completely out into the open. His drug use. Definitely. Because it's gone on for some time. And it's kind of propped him up to make him feel like he's successful, to make him feel like he's something that he isn't. It makes him tend to plan and scheme, especially where business is concerned. He relies on it to come off as confident. That's the word I'm searching for. As confident, independent. It's just this drug abuse is insidious for him. It creates for him, I don't know how else to put it. He thinks it makes him more professional. It does not. It makes him look a hot mess. But for him, in his mind, it makes him look and feel like he's getting things done, like he's his own man and capable of focusing and thinking really in depth. And there's goals that he has financially. He really ties it in with being able to do business. And he's dependent on it. But he's so deluded that he thinks that it actually makes him into a better business person, into making smart business deals. Oh, this man is... Four of Cups is also a card that I often get with people that abuse substance. This cuts him off from being able to be empathetic, to feel. It creates a more callous person. It causes him to not be able to be just emotionally empathetic to other people. It also creates a state with him where he's never satisfied. A constant state of criticism, and I think that the truth be told, Donald has never really felt like he belonged, and so he's always wanted to be popular, that's important to him. Despite, it's like, look, Donald, if you want to be popular, you can't be a dick, but you can't be a liar. But he doesn't know how to drop that. And the drug use also comes in to create a false, the Dutch courage, if you will. This false set of esteem, but it's a very insidious cycle. It does not do that. It's tearing him down. And here's the card that goes with that. So I see where expansion is concerned. He is not happy. That he is looking, I think especially where we look overseas, business, there's something he's having to wait on. And I feel like this drug abuse makes him short-tempered, as we know, no patience, cold and callous. I think it affects a lot. Okay, I'm getting the word trade. It just doesn't ground. He's not grounded. He's neither here nor there, which is a very strange thing. As you guys, we all well know by now, he's in this weird fugue. Yes, fugue. It's just kind of a clouded place of feeling unhappy. He feels somehow also here coming up where other countries in the world are concerned, overseas are concerned. Somehow this is coming up that he doesn't feel like he's able to participate or be a big player. He wants to be more of a player with overseas issues. And I think it has something to do with, oh my goodness, Vladimir. This could be Vladimir for some reason in the environment. I know we're reading on drugs, but Vladimir is a Libra, so this could be him. And I don't know why he would be there. Maybe he is a channel for getting some of that stuff. Maybe that's the goodwill package Vladimir has sent him, is some amphetamines. I don't know. I know that sounds crazy. Oh my God. But this man is crazy. He's so disordered. And there is something with distant places regarding the drugs. He uses the drug. I'm thinking he knows drug people that deal drugs, obviously, and drug trade. Okay, I'm getting drug trade with this. Something about that. He's involved in that. in some fashion. He's got his hooks. If that's important to him, and it is, he's going to have some connection. So I think there's something that where we're looking actually also overseas, where there is some supply and trade. Maybe particularly three points. But he's waiting. So maybe he's having to wait at some point here. I don't know. To get what he wants, or to get some flow of trade going. There's, because look again. Okay, in the Four of Cups, we have the three upright cups, and then we have this fourth cup that's he's not even aware of. If he's aware of it, he's trying to figure out how to make it happen with the three that he's not happy with here. And we get a three again, 3 points, 3 ships. How is he, they need to look and see if some of his, it would not surprise me if some of his business income and laundering is through drugs. On a much deeper scale than maybe we're aware of. And it looks like dude's waiting for a shipment. Seriously. Here we have waiting again, so that he can feel confident. I wonder if the coronavirus isn't creating a little bit of a shortage where there's a slowdown, or maybe at some point for him there's going to be a slowdown in being able to, but there's financial also gain here. So I'm thinking he gets some money. He has some kind of involvement there. This is interesting. Because this is something that is being, a plan that's being put in place, that's being nurtured and watched so that it can become and flourish. And this is his self-confidence, and he's having, I feel like, to wait to get a supply. Look at that. Oh, I'm sorry. Look at that. I think he's involved, or makes some of his money through drug trade. Somehow, some way, directly or indirectly. Laundering money for them. So if he can't launder money, if he can't launder that money, if something comes down, and he's going to fight it because he's going to want to get that money. He's going to be very stressed. And the drugs. I think he's got some money that he depends on, and most certainly physically depends upon the drugs. This King of Swords. Let me just kind of adjust this here. There is a much bigger business there. There's going to be more there with him in this subject. This is a very good question, actually. You would think on the surface we could all, because we're all getting tired of all of his problems and the way he acts. And so we kind of at this point tend to go, yeah, he's that too. But you know what? Don't brush that, yeah, he's that too, off too quickly. There is something deeper here. Way deeper. Way deeper, folks. That there is some definite profit also connected to illicit drugs and money laundering with drugs. Drug money. Look at that. He wants to get back to business with this. There's a nice little income that comes in with it. And I really do believe that there's going to be some sort of a slowdown in that area for some reason for him. Maybe because as the law comes down on him and pinches down on him, this flow of money and these drugs that he's used to having and getting dry up a bit or slow down, and he is anxiously awaiting it reopening up. He wants to get on with it. He wants to get back to quote-unquote work with, I think, money laundering and getting this drug flow somehow. There is something there. There is something there. So this is already at 41 minutes. This will be a lengthy upload. I'll stop there. I think we've answered that question, and I think in the future we're going to need to watch for context when more things start, because it did come out in a further point. I think we're going to need to watch and see how context reveals itself. There's some deeper connection that he has with, I think, drug money, drug laundering drug money, and I think helping himself to also some of the product. Okay? So I'll see you in the next video. I hope you have a great Sunday. Thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And I really hope that you are staying well and keeping your spirits up. Thank you. See you in the next video.